Hey guys, it's Janie. Welcome back to the Bookworms Buddy. I have a book haul. Okay, welcome back guys. Welcome new subscribers. Thank you all for your continued support. I do have a book haul. The last 2 weeks my sister and her family were here, and they are a very bad influence on me because they like to buy books and I like to buy books, and now I have stacks of books for this video. So I'm not going to go over all the synopsises or any of that. I just don't have the time. This video would be forever if I did that. So I'm just going to quickly go through them. You guys can look the titles up on Goodreads or whatever platform you use for that. But let's get started. The first place that I got my book from was Target. And I got Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the spin-off series of The Kingdom of the Wicked. You guys know I love that trilogy so much. So this one I'm hoping is going to be just as good. I'm looking forward to reading this. Barnes & Noble had like the special edition one. It had like a pinks and stuff on the cover, if I remember correctly. But this one is just as beautiful. The next book we got here, we actually had one last stop at a grocery store they like to shop at. It's Winco that we have, and the really good prices in there. But they also had the bargain bin of books. And I found The Silent Wife by Karen Slaughter. This is part of the Will Trent series. I love Will Trent. I love that series. I love Karen Slaughter. So this one fit in perfectly. I'm not sure what number this one is. I'll put it here on the screen. But I thought I had read them all already, and I have not. So, there's that one. Now, of course, we had to go to Barnes & Noble twice. And, of course, I had to buy books twice. So, let's just get started on this one. I'm not sure. There was one visit I only bought maybe one book, and then the rest of them were in another one. So, it doesn't matter. So the first one we got here is Haunting Adeline. I talked about this in Tackle My TBR. This is a dark romance. There is a lot of dark elements, you guys. So if you don't like any dark elements or dark romance, then you will not want to read this book. There are a lot of triggers in here. She has a warning in the beginning of the book as an important note. So if you decide to go to Barnes & Noble and pick this up, read that important note first. I don't think you're going to find it on Goodreads, but it's important to read that. Lots of triggers, so just keep that in mind if you decide to read this. I'm not particularly fond of, like dark romance and stuff. I've read several of them, but this one's been getting a lot of attention lately. The lady at Barnes & Noble said that this is one of their biggest sellers. So I'm like, you know what? Why not? But, I found the second book first. And that one I found it recycled. And you'll see that when I get to the recycled stack. So that was actually the first one I got. This one I got second. It was there. I picked it up. And I really enjoyed the story. I was really surprised. I'm not saying that it's not dark, but it didn't hit me as much as some of the other dark romances I've read. And I think it has to do with the style. Oh, I didn't tell you this is H.D. Carlton is the writer. I feel like it's the style of writing and the fluidity of the writing. It just, I really did enjoy the story a lot. You got Adeline who inherits a house. It gets passed down from her great-grandmother to her grandmother to her. And some strange things are going on in the house. And she's getting a little spooked. And she has a stalker. So, it really is a good story, but it still is really dark, so keep that in mind. Barnes, of course, has a lot of their buy one, get one 50% off, so I took advantage of that as well. I got a couple of Christmas books here for December. I picked up Always in December by Emily Stone, and I picked up In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. So I'm looking forward to reading these in December. I do have a couple other Christmas books that I can read for December, but I wanted wanted a couple more. So there's those. Another couple of them I got for the buy one, get one for 50% off is the Witch Haven series. This is by Sasha Peyton Smith. So we got the Witch Haven and we got the Witch Hunt. And I picked these up really because I've kind of changed my mind about reading witch books now ever since I read the Throne of Glass series, because there was a coven of witches in that book, in that series, that I really, really enjoyed. So I just started, you know, picking up some more of the witchy books. So these would probably be great for spook season, but I already have that TBR. I could change my mind and decide to read one. We'll see what happens, because as you know, if you watched my Tackle My TBR, I had some books on there that weren't on my spook season TBR. So these could fit. Next one we got here, we got A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman. I have Beartown. I have not read it yet, but I always hear good things about this. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see if I enjoy this one. So we got that one. Also, we got one here called The Light We Lost by Jill Santopolo. This is a contemporary romance, and I do read the synopsis, you guys, before I buy the book, so it obviously sounded good, and I just don't remember what I read. The next one we got here is This Woven Kingdom by Tahara Mafi. I didn't like her other series, but I decided to try her out again and try this. I don't know if this is book 1, book 2, or what it is, but I'm going to give her another shot. But yeah, we're going to try that one and see what happens. And then I found Crossed, and this is by Emily McIntyre. She's also a dark romance, but I'm really enjoying those books. I read Hooked, and this is from the Never After series of books. They're kind of like fairy tales brought to life and rewrote as dark romance. So this one, I'm going to go into it blind. I did not read the synopsis. I just saw the cover and knew it was the Never After novel. This is, however, book 4, I think. So I need to read the other ones, because I think the only one I read was Hooked out of this. So, and that one I really, really liked. So we got that one. And then when we went back to Barnes & Noble on another trip, I picked up Holly by Stephen King. This follows the Mr. Mercedes and then the Outsider. It's a character from those two. What is the name of the series? I'll put it here in my mind today. And then The Outsider was the next one, and it's a character from those books. So I decided I was going to pick this one up. So now we got these stacks of recycled books. So let's get into those. We met up with my friend Susan while my sister was here, and she told me about Lincoln Barclay. Now these are from the David... I know his character's name is David, and it's, again, I'll write it here on the screen. So we got Broken Promise, and we got Never Look Away. And she said this one was really good. I'm going to figure out which one is the first book, and I will read them in order. I think it's still important to learn about your detective. Even if the books are different cases, I still like to read them in order. So there's those two. Next one we got here is a young adult called Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds. This one sounded really good. It's something about this guy falls in love with this girl and she dies, and then he goes back and lives it all over again. Something happens as he's traversing through the universe, and it could cause potential danger for somebody else that he loves. So he has to decide to letting her go or saving this loved one that is in danger. So it's kind of like the Groundhog Day kind of feel to it, but I thought it would be good. So I got that one. We got Shadow of the Fox. My husband found this one. This is by Julie Kagawa. The Iron Face series is one of my favorite series, and this is a spin-off, or it's just another series, but yeah, I don't know a whole lot about it. But yeah, we picked that one up. Next one we got here is Apples Never Fall from Leanne Moore. I really love Leanne Moriarty's writing, so I decided I would get this one. Recycled has had this several times, but I just never picked it up. I wanted to read a couple more of her books, but I decided it's there now. It must be fate. I need to pick it up and read it. It was only $6 to get this book, so I said, yes, please. We got that one. Next one we got here is another young adult. This is called These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. And I remember seeing these covers, and when I saw it up there, I'm like, did I ever get that? I think it's just a duology. It might be a trilogy. And I said, well, I don't know if I have them at home, but I'm going to buy it just in case. And I did not have it here at home, so we picked that one up. The next one we got here is called The Witcher, Blood of Elves. I don't know anything about this one, and I'm not going to say that author's name. Take a peek. And it is The Witcher, so I figured, hey, let's check this one out. And so I grabbed it from the YA section. I love that cover too. Next one we got here is called Her Three Lives. You got to have a good thriller in the mix. This is by Kate Hallahan. It looks pretty creepy, so we'll see. Here is Hunting Adeline, which is book 2 to the duet, she calls them, by H.D. Carlton. And my niece and I are going to read this one together as well. Difference is, I got this one for $9. Barnes & Noble, I got that book. This one for $28. So, if you can find them at your recycled bookstore, let's pick it up. And this was actually the first one that I got. I got this one before I got Haunting Adeline. This one is Hunting Adeline, and I can't really tell you why it's called Hunting Adeline because that would give away spoilers, and we don't want to do that. The next one we got here is an old book. This is The Entity by Frank Del Felitta, I think it is. He wrote Audrey Rose. I read this book years and years and years and years ago and decided to pick it up because they had this copy is beat up. I also saw the movie. I think a lot of people have seen the movies where a woman is sexually assaulted by a ghost, pretty much. And this is based on a true story as well. So I figured I would pick it up and give it another shot. Now's the time. It's spook season, so it may get thrown on the list. We don't know. But anyway, the last 2 books that I picked up from Recycled are these beautiful, beautiful copies of a couple of classics. We got Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, and we got Dracula by Bram Stoker. Look at this cover. I do own this book. I have read that book a couple times, but I wanted to have this one. I asked them what the deal was up there and why they had these, because Recycled is where people bring their books in, and they got a ton of these in a lot of different classics, and they said they actually did order them. So I thought I need to have a couple of these classics. These are great horror classics. I have yet to read Frankenstein though, but like I said, I've read Dracula like twice, I think. But maybe we'll, give a shot, give Frankenstein a shot and see. But they're beautiful. They look like hardbacks, but they're not. They're paperbacks, and they're beautiful books. And they've got a ton of classics in this style of book. They're beautiful. I'm glad that I found those. And that is my book haul, you guys. That was a lot of books to get through. Sorry I couldn't give you all the synopsises. Just don't have the time for that. But if you have read any of these books, let me know what your thoughts are down below. Or let me know what books you have recently purchased. I will take those also in the comments. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.